Hey everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Make sure you check out the description below for your free class code. What? Today I want to go over 3 common mistakes I see with undulations. I think it's really important we do this beautiful movement well and consciously with our body. So let's go over these. One of the biggest things that I see with the movement starting off is we get this pigeon head going. So when you're doing your undulation, I see a lot of this, right? The head is just kind of going back and forth with the movement versus really staying still, controlled, and relaxed. So let's go over why this may be happening. One of the things is you may be really strained in your neck area right here. And so while you should be relaxed and keeping a lot of beautiful negative space right here, you start to get stressed out and trying to complete the movement, or we just haven't trained efficiently to make sure that your body knows how to do an undulation without actually tensing this part of your body. So we're going to drill that right now. And all we're going to drill is the part of the undulation that is closest to the neck, which is the chest lift when you're actually doing an undulation with a chest lift. You don't really see this as much when you don't have a chest lift or a chest forward with your undulation. So let's go ahead and drill it, just this portion right here, and really learn how to relax the shoulders as you do this chest lift so that way it doesn't affect your neck coming front and back. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the side so we can go 1, 2. So what we want is we want relaxed shoulders right here, because the more that you start to strain this area, the more that you're going to see this. And you see how my head is kind of going front and back. And this is almost as like a counterweight to get the movement going. So we want to be really careful with this, right? Going like this with our head and our shoulders. So lift, 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 lift. Make sure that your shoulders are nice and relaxed for this, so that way you don't see the effect happening up here. Okay? Good. So now as you continue your chest movement, you're going to kind of just do a chest undulation and just roll it down. Okay? We want to be able to get that motion going a little bit further down the body, being aware that we're not doing this and kind of undulating the head with it, which is that pigeon head I was talking about. Because the tendency is to want to go like this to get power behind your chest, and we want to alleviate that. Keep breathing. 5, 6, 7, back to chest lift. 1. Good. Add your upper body undulation. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back to chest. 2, 3, 4. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Even for some of you, you may have to actively push your shoulders down and kind of lock it into place, but be careful you don't use too much muscle, because then you become rigid here and you'll still end up moving other body parts because they're proximally so close. So we want to be careful with that. It's just enough tension created downward and relaxation in order to not affect the neck and the head bobbing back and forth. Let's go back into our upper body undulation. 5, 6, 7, and watch that head. If you feel like you're getting closer, you're going to put your hand. So this is one way to test yourself when you're at home. You're like, I don't know if I'm doing it. What you're going to do is you're going to put your hand in front of you where you can see it through your peripheral vision, or you can focus on it. But as you're doing this, if you notice that your vision, your hand gets closer and then further away from your eyes, then you are probably bobbing in and out. And the other way to really tell if you're doing this is to video yourself and then go back and watch your video. Okay, so this is really important. So go ahead and put your hand in front of you. You're going to see if that hand comes in closer, or if it goes away, or if it stays right where it was when you started. Okay, so just undulation from here to here, practicing not the pigeon head. 5, 6, 7, here we go. How's it going? Huh? Huh? So make sure you continue to watch that you're not doing this business. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to drill that. You're going to drill it slowly and then speed it up over time, so that way you can make sure that you build into that great habit of controlling this portion of your body while doing the undulation. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about that I see as a common mistake when we do our undulations is to not actually complete the undulation. I see a lot of the time that the rotation in the pelvis actually isn't happening, and it looks more like an upper body undulation, like we were just using when we were practicing the pigeon head thing, or not doing the pigeon head thing. So we want to be very clear that in your undulation, you have all of this rotation happening. This is super important because this is like the component of your undulation. So let's drill this. We want to make sure you feel the rotation all the way down into your pelvic floor, into that pelvic floor, right? So you want to feel it all up in your goodies right here, that you are undulating all the way down. And what I tell my students all the time is, if you're like kneading dough, what ends up happening is you take the dough, you flip it over, and then you push. You flip it over, and then you push. And if you notice, you're causing this kind of rotation that's happening, and it's the same in the undulation. So we want to make sure that this is happening all the way down. If you get lost and it stops right here, it's a bit shallow of an undulation, and it's focusing more on your stomach right here, and sometimes even the chest. So we want to be very conscious of that, right? So if you're going to do a full body undulation, we need to make sure that it's actually full body. So feel it in your body, get into your neutral position right here, and then go ahead and start that undulation. We're going to do without your chest right now. So you're going to start it from your upper abs here, and we're going to really focus on completing the movement between here and here. You can go ahead and keep your feet flat and facing forward. Here we go. Show you from the side. Really bring it in, in, in. You should feel your tailbone drop and come back. Boom. You see right there, my tailbone is dropped. This is one of the ways that you can tell, is I can feel my back expand as I do the motion, right? If I just feel this, then it just feels like I'm duck-tailed like this the whole time. And that's not going to give me a good undulation. As well, it's going to hurt my lower back. So we want to make sure that we have our lower back neutralized. Here we go. Do you feel it in your body? One of the ways that you can also tell is if it looks like you are tucking in. In, 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 in. From the back, it looks like. See how my lower back opens right here and starts to expand? We want to make sure we get that. If you don't have it, what it'll look like is this. It's very shallow, and you're not getting the range of motion that you could with that movement. So you want it to look like a Ferris wheel. You want it to be very circular and keep on happening. Otherwise, you're going to get this. And I know that you've seen this happen either on yourself or other dancers. And I'm not saying like, ooh, I can't believe she did that or he did that, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. But we want to be conscious about our undulations and how beautiful and juicy and like magically musical they can be by using good technique, right? So make sure your undulation comes all the way down, that you feel it into your pelvic floor. Yeah. And if you're throwing a belly roll on top of it, you should be going all the way down into this muscle portion of your abdomen. Okay. Keep going. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one of the things I notice, you're going to keep doing your undulation right now. One of the things I notice that happens to actually throw people off and cause that mistake to happen is they start layering the movement with arms, with traveling, whatever it may be. And this is going to cause you to be like, oh my God, I don't know where to focus my attention in my body. So you got to drill this so it becomes one of those natural things that you finish your undulation all the way through. So we're going to practice right now. Just have your feet facing forward again and go ahead and start. Let's start with our arms. 1, 2, down, 3, 4, up, 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 1, 2, down, 3, 4. Make sure it's all the way down into your pelvic floor. Yes. So when you're doing it and when you throw your chest on top, make sure you get that full body motion. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about that I see as a common mistake is that some belly dancers don't know what beat you are actually doing your undulation on. Meaning, are you starting your undulation on the back foot on the downbeat, or are you starting it on the front foot on the downbeat? Because these are two different accentuations of the music and musicality. So we want to make sure that we're very conscious and that we actually don't accidentally switch between the two in the middle of our dancing. So let's go ahead and step on the beat. Okay, so we're just going to step right now. Then you're going to place one foot in front of the other. I'm going to place my right foot in front of my left. So now that I'm here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my undulation, right? So I'm going to face you for a second so that way you can see it front, front. Because right now, this is the beat. I'm going to start with my right foot forward and matching the downbeat. And I'm going to have my undulation match my right foot. So that means I'm going to start on the front. Okay, so you should be very open on the downbeat, meaning on count 1, 3, 5, and 7 in your music at this tempo and at that rate of your undulation. Right? So up in releve. Chest should happen here. So it's open, 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 open. Chest and foot happen together. Chest and foot happen together. This is really important. Sometimes this doesn't happen. And then this is how you switch in between the movements without even knowing. Okay, keep on going. Lift, 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 lift. We want to make sure that these are matched. So if your downbeat matches your front foot, then your chest needs to be expanding up or forward, or it's the upper part of your abs that are starting first, right? So you want to be aware, what kind of undulation are you doing? And how do you want it to match up with the music? So if I'm making sure that it matches with my front foot, then my whole body will be open while I step on that downbeat. For instance, counts 1, 3, 5, 7, if you think of it musically that way. Okay? Here we go. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Maintain this. Travel to the side. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. Now we want to make sure if we're going on the back beat, meaning, on the back step with the downbeat, that you are stepping back first, because the undulation will now look different when you execute it. Okay, so we want to be very clear, what are we doing and what do we want musically? So I'm going to take my right foot now and I'm going to step on the downbeat with it back. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. So as I was talking about before, remember I said on that front foot, my body was opening. On this one, your body will look like it's closing, means it'll look like you're doing the end of the undulation before you reset by opening the body and then closing it again. I'll show you what I mean. 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Doom. Boom. 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 And a lot of the times what we'll do is a flat ball. I'll show you. Down. 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 See how I'm closing and my tailbone drops as I do this? Boom. 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 5, 6, 7, and stop. So that's really important because musically they look completely different than the other. And we want to be clear that you're not unintentionally switching between the two right in the middle of you doing a sequence with it. So pay attention to this so that way you can make that conscious choice with your undulations. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope these were helpful and it gives you some awareness as to whether or not you're doing these yourself. So let's recap really quickly the things that we talked about. 1 was doing the pigeon head during the undulation. 2 was not completing the undulation to its fullest all the way down the body. And 3 was not being aware of which beat you are on or where the emphasis lies in your undulation. Don't forget about the free class code in the description below. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so that way you get notifications as to when I upload new videos. Thank you so much.